sitting here.
Friends, family members, parents, brothers and sisters, I welcome you today to the wedding ceremony and celebration of Ali and Sarah. Dearly beloved, we are gathered together here in the sight of God and in the presence of these witnesses to join together this man and this woman in holy matrimony, which is an honorable estate instituted of God in the time of man's innocency, signifying unto us the mystical union that exists between Christ and his church. This holy estate Christ adorned and beautified with his presence and the first miracle that he wrought in Cana of Galilee, and St. Paul commended as being honorable amongst all men. It is therefore not to be entered into unadvisedly, but reverently, discreetly, and in the fear of God. And into this holy estate these persons present now come to be joined. Ali and Sarah, I require and charge you both, as you stand in the presence of God, to remember that the commitment to marriage is a commitment of permanence. It is the intent of God that your marriage will be for life, and that only death will separate you. The vows you exchange today be kept without violation, and if you seek always to know and do the will of God, your lives will be blessed with his presence, and your home will abide in peace. Ali, will you have this woman to be your wedded wife, to live together after God's ordinance in the holy estate of matrimony? Will you love her, comfort her, honor her, and keep her in sickness and in health, and forsaking all others, keep yourself only unto her so long as you both shall live?
I do.
Sarah, will you have this man to be your wedded husband, to live together after God's ordinance in the holy estate of matrimony? Will you love, honor, and keep him in sickness and in health, and forsaking all others, keep yourself only unto him, so long as you both shall live?
I do.
Who gives this woman to be married to this man?
We do.
You may all be seated. I'd like to invite up Kimberly Souders, who's going to read from Genesis chapter 2. Kimberly, would you please come up?
A reading from the book of Genesis. The Lord God said, "It is not good for the man to be alone. I will make a helper suitable for him." Now the Lord God had formed out of the ground all of the beasts of the field and the birds of the air, and he brought them to the man to see what he would name them. And whatever the man called each living creature, that was its name. So the man gave names to all the livestock, the birds of the air, and all the beasts of the field. But for Adam, no suitable helper was found. So the Lord God caused the man to fall into a deep sleep. And while he was asleep, he took one of the man's ribs and closed up the place with flesh. Then the Lord God made a woman from that rib he had taken out of the man, and he brought her to the man. And the man said, "This is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, for she was taken out of man. For this reason, a man will leave his father and his mother and be united to his wife, and they will become one flesh." The word of the Lord.
I'd like to invite up Casey Cleaver, who's going to read to us from Matthew chapter 22. Casey, would you please come up?
Matthew chapter 22, verses 34 through 40. Hearing that Jesus had silenced the Sadducees, the Pharisees got together. One of them, an expert in the law, tested him with this question: "Teacher, which is the greatest commandment in the law?" Jesus replied, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment.